Welcome everyone, Joe for the Joe Wentz Project. As you can see, night has fallen. That's because I just got off work a few minutes ago. It is 1 o'clock in the morning on this early Tuesday morning. So technically it is the next day. So it is today's vlog. I'm legal, it's all good. I thought I'd go ahead and do this vlog here, unedited. And you could join me for some of my voyage home, so to speak. But I'd like to say thank you to a few subscribers who asked some questions. If you don't know, if this is your first time tuning into my channel, I normally don't do a nighttime driving vlog. This is really the first time I've done it. And the reason I'm doing this right now is because I didn't get much sleep yesterday, and I did my vlog. I've been tired all day. I come in the afternoon and have to drive all through the afternoon and on through the night. As you can see, like I said, it's 1 in the morning. I'm just getting off, and I'm wore out. So my plan is hopefully to be able to sleep in a little bit tomorrow, and or technically today, and go ahead and get my vlog knocked out if that's okay with everybody else. And normally I do guitar related videos with this daily vlog. I try to change it up a little bit, do a couple little different things so it's not the same thing all the time. So this is definitely different. So but I have a new segment that I started actually yesterday. It's called Ask Joe. And in the comments, if you put hashtag Ask Joe and then ask your question, I'll do my best to answer it. All I ask is it's nothing vulgar, you know, nothing crazy, and just use some common sense, and I'll be more than happy to answer your question. So I did look over the comments when I got off work. Excuse me, checking them out. And let's see here. Guitar Freak Bear, aka Ken. What's up, Ken? How you doing, man? I said what's up. I said what's up, Ken. Sorry, I'm tired, man. I'm tired. You have to forgive me. Ken, I believe your question was, what was the first song I learned to play on guitar? Oh man, and I'll give you a little backstory on that real quick, Ken. It was oh my God, it was years and years ago, probably about 87, 88. I got my first guitar in Christmas Eve, or on Christmas Eve rather, of 1986. So it was about 87, 88. I've been playing for a couple of years. Really wasn't getting anywhere. You know, I didn't get a tuner, excuse me, for my guitar for quite a few years. I tried to tune by ear with this little Casio, small Casio keyboard that I had. Man, and I thought you could do it that way, you know, and which was ridiculous, you know. I don't know if you can hear that train going by right there. And I thought there was a guy behind me blowing his horn, but it was actually the train horn going off over there. So it was a guy I knew, you know, like I said, 87, 88. And he was a lot more advanced of a player than I was. I mean, he'd been playing a long time. He was a lot older than me. But he was a really nice guy. And I remember he had a Hamer Flying V. And, man, he could play. And I would go over there to see him. The girl I was dating at the time, it was her sister's boyfriend. So whenever we would go over there to visit her sister, he would be there, and I noticed he played guitar, and man, he could play. Golly, he could play. And so I would ask him to show me a few things, you know, from time to time. If I could go back and look at myself then as a young teenager, I was probably aggravating him to death, but I was wanting to learn. So and at the time, the song by Poison, "Every Rose Has Its Thorn," was popular. It was one of the big songs on the radio, and so I asked him if he could show me that, and he did. And that was the first song I learned to play on guitar, was "Every Rose Has Its Thorn." I mean, as far as playing it, with the chords all the way through and all that stuff. And at that point in time, that blew my mind. I mean, I was just like, whoa, man, I thought I'd reached this huge pinnacle in my playing, which at that time it was. But it was just a few chords, but it blew my mind at the time, not really being very knowledgeable of chord changes and different chord structures and all that stuff. I thought it was pretty cool. So there you go, Ken. The first song I learned to play was "Every Rose Has Its Thorn" by Poison, from that guy that taught me how to do that years ago. Man, so thank you, Ken, for your question. Let's see. Rick Smith asked a question. He wanted to know, what is my favorite guitar to play, and what is my favorite color on a guitar? I believe that's right, Rick. My favorite guitar to play is the latest one I just got. I got it in about the second week of December, so I guess a little over about a month and a half ago. And it's the EVH Wolfgang Special, and it's the All Natural. That is my favorite guitar that I like. That guitar is just amazing. I mean, I do have another Wolfgang Special. It's vintage white, and that plays great too. But that All Natural, I don't know what it is about that guitar. It's just, it's fantastic. Excuse me. And it plays phenomenal. I love that guitar. I really find myself playing that guitar a lot. Even if it's not in a video or nothing, I really do play that guitar an awful lot. And it's just really comfortable to play. It sounds tremendous. Everything on that guitar is just top shelf. A lot of people, I mean, everybody has the right to their own opinion and what they like, and that's why they make different, types of guitars. For everybody's taste is different. You hear a lot about the USA models versus the made in Mexico models, stuff like that. To me, the Wolfgang Specials that are made in Mexico are fabulous. They're fabulous guitars. Even all my Strats, my Fender Strats that I have, they're made in Mexico. I had a one made in USA guitar at one time, and it was the SRV model. And oh God, I'd gotten that years and years and years ago from American Musical Supply. And at the time, this is how long ago this was. At the time, that guitar was $1,350, and I ordered it on payments. And at the time, all they offered was 5 payments. You could either do 1 payment, 3 payments, or 5 payments. Now, American Musical Supply offers a year's worth of payments on certain guitars. Of course, it depends on how much it is too. But most of the guitars that are over $1,000 or whatever, they'll let you make a year's worth of payments. But at that time, the SRV model, it was only 5 payments, so it was like, I don't know, like $250 something a payment or something. So I had that guitar for a long time, and then like an idiot, I guess it was about, I don't know, 5 years ago or something, I sold it. Now that guitar goes for about, golly, I've looked at it over the years. It was almost at $3,000 at one point. I think they brought it back down to like, I don't know, don't quote me on this, but I think it's like $2,200 or $2,300. And that guitar was nice. I really loved it because I was going through a really big Stevie Ray Vaughan phase at the time. Even though I can't really play like I mean, well, nobody can, but his stuff is just, for me, just really impossible to play. It's just, I can't hardly touch that stuff. But I wanted it, and I had it for years and years, like I said, and I sold it. We needed the money, and of course, right after I practically gave it away. I mean, it was. I think I sold it. It was right at $800, and but I knew at the time that was the only guitar I had that would bring in some money, and I had to have the money. We had to pay some bills, and of course, right when I sold it, I met the guy. I sold it on Craigslist, and I met the guy actually down the road here at a bowling alley that was beside Walmart, and he showed up with some friend of his who claimed to have his own music store or something. I don't know. I don't know. He looked over the guitar and was asking me all these questions and stuff, but he bought it, gave me the cash money, and I went home and gave my wife the money that was needed for the bills, what we needed and all that, and then I had a little pocket money left. And the next day, my belt broke on my truck. The serpentine belt broke, and then the battery went dead. So there went that little bit of money I had to, it was gone. So that's usually how it goes. When you get a little bit of money, something always happens that takes the money. So as far as the favorite color of a guitar, I've always been favorable to purple. If you've looked at any of my videos, Rick, which I know you have, I have an OLP that's got that purple, like a quilt top, purple, and I love that color. I had a Peavey Wolfgang special that was purple. It was like a flat color. It wasn't like, you know what I mean? It wasn't like a quilt top or nothing. And again, that was a Peavey Wolfgang special. Awesome guitar. Had it, I got it, probably in the early 2000s or something. Brand new off of the shelf in the music store. I had it up until about a year and a half ago, and I sold it. Again, I needed the money. So even when I went to sell it, my wife looked at me. She said, "You're crazy. Why are you selling?" I said, and you know what I did with the money? I got 2 front tires for this truck. And so tires are expensive. So yeah, I got some tires for this truck. So there you go, Rick. My favorite guitar is my EVH Wolfgang Special All Natural, and my favorite color on the guitar is purple. I love that. I mean, I got some other ones too, but my top favorite color is purple, yeah. The next question I remember is from Mauricio. Excuse me. Mauricio asked me, what was my favorite local restaurants to eat at? Oh, man. My wife and I, we don't go out as much as we used to. We're real big homebodies. Mainly because I'm on the road all the time with this job. And, but when we do go out and eat, which is very rarely, but when we do, there's a couple places we like to visit. One is Longhorn Steakhouse. I love the steaks there. Really good food. Usually when we go, it might be on a Friday or Saturday afternoon, about maybe 3 or 4 o'clock. Try to beat the rush. And we'll sit down and have a nice dinner. I might have me a cold beverage of the alcoholic persuasion, and my wife will drive, she'll drive. And like I said, we don't do that very often at all. It's just every once in a while, sometimes it's just better to, we just enjoy sometimes just cooking something on the grill. Excuse me, I have to look over here. Getting ready to make a turn. And fixing stuff at home, and we'll watch TV while we eat, watch Netflix or something, watch some TV shows that aren't on TV anymore. Stuff like that. Another restaurant that every once in a while we'll go to is called Texas Roadhouse. It's another steakhouse, but they're really famous for their ribs. Their ribs are just excellent. And but the Texas Roadhouse is good, but if you go there on a Friday or Saturday night, it's just like any other famous steakhouse. It is hard. You have to wait for a table, and it's just always really, really crowded. And when you go somewhere to eat, that's why I say when we go, we'll go like 3 or 4 o'clock to avoid all that. Because I don't know about anybody else, but for me, when I go somewhere to eat, I'm ready to go in there and eat. I don't have to wait an hour for a table. I can't. That just really aggravates me. But I know that comes with the territory if that's what you're going to do. So we'll get us some steaks from the store, and we'll marinate them overnight or whatever, and we'll have them the next day. And that way, if you're at home, if you want to have a couple of beers or something, which that's usually what I'll do. You're at home. You can't get in no trouble, because with my job, like if anybody has watched these vlogs, I drive a truck for a living, so I have what they call CDL license, commercial driver's license, and you don't want to get nothing crazy like that on your, because you could lose your license. It's not a good thing. I can't. My license is my bread and butter, as how we pay our bills. And I've been working here a long time, and I wouldn't do nothing foolish like that. There's no way. Those are the 2 main restaurants we'll go to. Every once in a while we'll go. There's another place. Actually, there's a new place that's right down the street from our house, which is unbelievable. It's a barbecue place. I can't remember the name of it. It hasn't been open long. My wife wants to try that. I think it's like a buffet thing. And but I love some good barbecue. It's kind of hard to find in this neck of the woods. There's a couple places that's pretty decent, but to find some really good barbecue, sometimes you have to do a little Columbo-like research, look at some reviews, but that place that's just opened up right down the street from us, we haven't tried that yet, but she said she'd like to try it, so we might try that pretty soon. It's just literally just right down the street, because usually when we go somewhere to eat, we have to drive a little ways to get there. There's not a whole lot in our little town. The town we live in, you got you got Zaxby's, you got your fast food restaurants, McDonald's, Taco Bell, KFC, Burger King. There's a Chinese restaurant in town. You got a Pizza Hut and a Subway. There's a Mexican restaurant that's really good. So there's another one we like to go to. It's right there in town, and that's about it. So if you want to get a steak or something like that, we have to go a pretty good distance to get there. It's not too awful bad, but it takes long enough to get there. But so a lot of times we'll either get something and bring it back home and eat it, or we'll just fix something at home. It just depends on what strikes our fancy at the time. So there you go. Thank y'all for asking your questions. Once again, if you'd like to ask me a question, in the comments section, just put #AskJoe, and there you go. And so I think that's going to wrap it up for this vlog for today, for vlog number 42, my daily vlog. Thank you very much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I can't believe we're getting right at 20 minutes already. Wow. So, man, that was long enough, wasn't it? I apologize. I didn't mean for it to go that long. Checking the links below for my t-shirts and hoodies, if you'd like to do so, and more about myself. Thank y'all for watching. I really appreciate you tuning in. Thank you for leaving the kind comments and the kind words. I read all the comments. and I try my best to respond to everybody. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Everybody have a great day. I'm going home. I'll take a shower. I'm going to bed. You'll see this vlog here in just a little while. I'll get it uploaded. See you tomorrow, everybody. God bless. Bye-bye.